Hello. Um,
Hello.
Look at what we got here. It's me. It's me. I'm here, and you're
You are here.
here,
I'm
and
here.
you. And guess what? You're here too, and we appreciate you being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your reality thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I currently am just drinking water because hydration is important and water gives you clear skin. And Lord, do I need it right now? But I, I'm would love to say if I was drinking anything, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug, but I'm not home, so I don't have my cup mug.
I'm
But
holding it down with the cup mug today. I got
period. Logan has it. We have you can get your cup mug at lanag'screations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses. And I'm looking at you, Survivor fans, all you Survivor fans, all over the world. I'm looking at you. Get your cup merch. Per.
it. And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. Still with COVID. We found out what the sickness was. And it's COVID. So I am still drinking Gatorade. Objectively, lime cucumber is still the best flavor. Fight with the wall. And of course, I'm drinking water because hydration is very important. But I'm here. I made it. I still feel like crap, but I'm here.
Hey, that's all we can ask you to be here. And since you're here, we want you all to be here too. So hit that subscribe button. Do all the things to say you support us because we appreciate you.
Her.
And trust, and we will remind you at the end of this podcast before we leave. So just know. But we are not here to talk about how we're here and how Logan has COVID, but we're here to talk about Survivor 45, episode 9. And it was an episode that happened on television.
The most underwhelming episode of the season. I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, it was kind of boring, but in
I
an interesting way.
mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It was like a lot of things happened, but in a very boring way. And I was not intrigued at all by watching it, but it was like, oh, this is happening now. So let's figure out how this happens. But
Exactly.
nothing fun, like nothing made me gasp. It was nothing. It was fun. So we get to camp. Kendra is very upset after we lose Kelly, and I'm
Uh,
very sad about Kelly leaving as
I didn't
well.
get to talk about it, but uh, that's all.
So I take it
Y'all will get more of that at the end of the podcast because there's
I
more.
take it you're devastated.
I'm devastated.
Okay.
3 weeks in a row,
Yes.
genuinely devastated.
Understood. Understood. But so Kendra is sitting on the beach by herself with her water and she pouring one out for the homie, Kelly. She like, this is for you, girl. This is for my homie, you know. She tips her drink and she's very sad because she was very blindsided by the vote. Did not know that was going to happen. And she's down there feeling sad, and then right over her head is some whoops happening on the upside because Jake on the other side is very happy and relieved that he is still alive and in this game. And
Yeah.
he's like whooping it up. And yeah, that's what's going on with that.
Because all of the original Bella were kind of taken a little aback by what happened. And you talked about both Kendra and Jake.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to talk about Bruce.
Yes.
Because Bruce was blindsided. And then
Yes.
back at camp, gets blindsided
Again.
with the information from the Reba 4 that Kelly not only was trying to target Bruce, who he considered Kelly his number one ally.
Yeah.
So not only was Kelly trying to take Bruce out, but thought that Bruce was incredibly overbearing. And that word becomes the bane of Bruce's existence on this day. I think it's 18 in the game or whatever it is at this point. He is shocked
beyond belief. And like you said, the word overbearing just played over and over and over on repeat in his mind, because he was like, am I overbearing? Because I treated Kelly like I treated my child, which I'm like, that's number one where the problem lies.
But all right.
But then he says he has a reflective moment the next day at camp. Like, he literally was like, I'm not doing anything today. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just gonna sit and think. And he was like, I'm gonna have to go home and ask my wife and my daughter, am I overbearing? Because if I'm overbearing, then I will, in that moment, I will try to change, because I don't want to be overbearing. I don't want my daughter, to feel like I felt as a child. And then we do get a Bruce backstory about his childhood.
I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that we really, I think he was the only person left that we hadn't gotten a backstory from.
We got it.
We didn't get one from Kelly either.
No, we did not. And it's a little late to get one now, but whatever. So we get Bruce's backstory about his childhood, being in foster homes and all of that. And it's like, okay. So Bruce is trying to figure out where to go from here, because he's very in a weird headspace, as he says in this game.
And this is where, as if I wasn't, not feeling Drew as a character on this show, this is really the moment where I was like, yeah, Drew, I'm good. Yeah. I'm okay. You're probably a lovely person in real life, but in this edited TV program that I'm watching right now,
I'm good.
I'm fine. Because we see Drew in confessional going, yeah, you can tell that this is really like taking a toll on Bruce. Bruce now is come to a fork in the road where he needs to decide whether he's going to continue to play this imaginary version of the game, or is he going to play the reality of the situation that's happening? Now, do I understand Drew's point?
Yes.
The way he worded this, though,
mm-hmm.
like playing an imaginary game,
it felt very pretentious and very undermining and very kind of like dismissive of Bruce's.
How I felt.
Yeah, I agree. It felt very dismissive of Bruce's feelings in that moment, because it's great when you're at the top of the food chain and everything is going your way, to be like, oh yeah, he's playing this imaginary game where he actually thinks he's doing something and it's not it. But maybe he'll play the reality of the game is where he's still screwed. And it's like, well, what we've all learned about Survivor, and we know that this game can change in a dime. Yeah. And I want to see how Drew reacts when he is no longer at the top of the food chain, and how he feels when people are looking at him like, guess your imaginary game wasn't working out for you, huh? It's kind of interesting, it was a lot. It was very dismissive. I understand why you felt that way. I felt that way too. I was like, and when you said dismissive, that was the word I was looking for, because I was like, something I didn't like about it. It rubbed me the wrong way, but I don't know why I didn't like it. But yes, it was very dismissive. Very dismissive.
And since we're touching on all of the old Bello, we must also talk about Katurah. Our girl Katurah.
Yes, ma'am.
she, you know, she recognizes she's kind of at this fork in the road as
Mm-hmm.
well, where she
Mm-hmm.
can side with Old Bello, or she can try to get in as the fifth over here with Old
Mm-hmm.
Reba.
Mm-hmm.
And she decides to take the latter option and
Mm-hmm.
goes to tell Dee as soon as Kendra and Katora have a conversation about Kendra wanting to target Dee. We
Mm-hmm.
see Katora go right over to the Reba 4 and be like, so Kendra's targeting you, Dee. I'm like, Katora, no. Katora, no. I get it, but no. Katora, no.
I
Ah.
I mm, I watched it. I watched it, and yeah, I I watched it, and I was like, girl, I get it. You know what?
I
I
get
get
it.
it because in the Bello tribe, that ship is sinking, and it's
Yeah.
sinking fast, and she had to make sure she was the first to jump off that sinking ship, so she won't do it now. I hope she continues to play it smarter than she does. Like when she has the opportunities to come for the Reba 4, she takes that opportunity. But we'll see how if or how that turns out because as of right now, that 4 is very strong. And it's no breaking them up unless you do it very quietly, sneakily, and they feel very
Yep.
comfortable because they have a lot of power between that in that 4. Austin has 2 immunity idols,
Yep.
and Drew still has a where he can get up a safety without
Safety without power.
power, right? Advantage. So he can just get up and leave any tribal council he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And so really all it takes is for one of them to win the immunity, and then Austin passes his other 2 idols to Julie and Dee, and Drew walks out. And they are
Yeah.
all safe still.
And I feel like we're going to see that next episode.
I do too.
But, you know,
We'll,
it
we'll
is
what it is.
And since we're talking about everyone other than the Reba 4 in depth, we got to talk about Emily as well, who,
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest,
I'm liking her a little bit more.
the stand card is out. It's not delivered.
It's on my table.
It's in my hand, and
I'm
I just
looking at
pulled
it.
it out of my pocket. I'm
I'm
looking
look.
down at it.
I'm look. It's right down here on my table, and I'm like,
Especially last week after the auction, where she was like, her like little dance over her charcuterie and white wine. I was like, yes, because that would be me. I'm just like,
I'm really starting to feel this is. I have never seen a redemption arc for me in my personal like charts of redemption because everybody's redemption charts are different. But for me, I've never seen someone climb my redemption ladder so fast and furiously and steadily as Emily is doing right now for me.
mm-hmm.
Because if y'all go back to our very
Oh,
first episode, I was not a fan of Miss Emily. That
no,
did not change for a minute for me and Miss Emily. But then something just started to, I appreciated her game. And so it's
yeah,
like her game is really better. Now I am not only just appreciating her game, I'm appreciating her as a person and as a character on this show, on this edited TV show that we are watching. I appreciating her a little bit more as a person. And
yeah,
that is just something that is not something that happens with me on a regular basis
yeah,
on these shows. So I'm pleased. Like I say, my stand card is sitting right here on my table, and
yeah.
I'm looking at it, and I'm like reaching, and then I put my hand back. I'm playing double dutch with it. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
want
mine is currently up for grabs, and we'll talk about why.
yeah.
But I I think a lot of it was we were getting such a more wholesome edit from Emily over the first like 4 or 5 episodes after the premiere,
Mm-hmm.
coupled with, I will say, Sabaya speaking out so openly about the entire situation
Mm-hmm.
and hearing Sabaya's take on the entire situation.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely helped me, at least. I will say
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, because I read 2 whole articles from what Sabaya was saying. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I see it. She's
Mm-hmm.
supporting Emily. So you know what? Maybe I should too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so good.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely, and I loved her in this episode. She was like, I need to fill out these 2 boys of Austin and Drew because they made this whole alliance with me. And I want to make sure, see where I stand in this alliance. Am I actually in the alliance with them or am I just a number for them? And the way she did this, I was like,
I may or may not have put on yellow today specifically because of Emily's gameplay in this episode. Also, this is my weekending shirt. You can't really read it, but it says weekending.
Oh, okay.
So it's very cute.
I have on red. It's not for Reba. It's just the shirt that I brought with me, and I'm not at home to change. So
It
there
could
we
be
go.
He's Big Chow.
No, it's not for her big toe at all.
Okay.
It's literally just because I wore it to South Carolina, and I was not home to change. But yeah. I loved how she did. She went to Austin and Drew and was like, so what are we thinking? She was like, if we get Bruce and Katora and Kendra, we could vote out somebody strong, something like maybe like a D, maybe. And Austin and Drew like froze.
They're both just like,
they were a deer in headlights. They were well, I mean,
I don't think we need to do that right now.
And Emily was like, ooh.
Emily was like, that's all I need to know exactly where I am at.
Mm-hmm. She was like, okay, clock. And Austin felt that. And he was like, we have to make Emily feel more comfortable in this. Like, because I understand why she feels that way. He said, but I couldn't possibly turn on D like that because we're very close friends. And Emily has been clocking that. She was like, they have become very, very close. Austin and D has become a topic of conversation in this episode because it was like their relationship is very close. Emily clocked it. Kendra clocked it. Kendra was like, I think they're in love. And I love that for them because I love to see them have lots of babies and be great. I love that. But in this game, a little dangerous, don't you think?
And
Emily is like,
We'll talk more about that Kendra conversation because I have thoughts and I'm just like, ugh. And most of those thoughts boil down to Julie, damn it. Yeah. But we got Tree Mail saying that only one person will win immunity today, but you need to divide into 3 groups of 3. So who speaks up first and the loudest? But damn Drew going... each group should have one of the strongest men, one of the strongest women, and one of the weaklings.
I was like, so where do you fall, Drew?
I did love that Drew was like, well, I'm a weakling. So I was like, okay, at least you're well aware. So that results in the first group being Jake, D, and Drew. The second group being Austin, Emily, and Katura. And the third group of Bruce, Kendra, and Julie. And Julie is freaking out because immediately she's like, well, what if it's like we all have to vote someone in our group out, then I'm screwed. And I'm like, yeah, you would be.
But I don't think they go have a triple elimination right now.
Triple elimination where there's only 3 votes per group.
I don't think so.
But we're also not on Survivor, so like I don't know what that paranoia would be like.
Right.
Quite honestly, I'd probably think of the same. I would think of the most far-fetched conclusions. I'd be like, one of these whole groups is going home. I need an idol.
And I'll be like, calm down, Logan. When in Survivor, we're going to have a triple elimination on day 18.
I don't know. It's the new era, Lana.
It's only 6 of us. If we lose 3 people, We're going to finals next week. Like in 2 days.
Who knows? Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my god!
There's an
I need an idol.
I would scream, cry, and
Oh
throw up, and
god!
somebody freaking out like that. I'd be like laughing so hard, my stomach hurts.
That would
and
be
I throw
me,
up.
and that's why I wouldn't go on Survivor.
I'd be like, calm down. We're not having a triple
Oh my
elimination.
god!
I need an answer right now.
What they didn't tell us is that they cut the season from 26 days to 21 days, and now they have to go to 3 people at one tribal. Triple eviction, bitch.
One tribal, triple eviction. Tomorrow's the finale. Like, what? What?
And yet we still have to do fire.
Right, because it's still how do we do that? Because it's still, unless we go into a final 2 when it's usually been a final 3.
That's the twist.
Plot twist, final 2. So we still go to fire with the 3, and one stays.
God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll be like, y'all, we are thinking
Anyway.
way too hard.
Anyway, what happened was not that.
Not that at all.
But Austin did give Julie one of his idols, just in case.
Just in case.
I was like, okay, cute. Because otherwise, both other groups have an idol, and then Dee and Drew have the majority of their groups. So.
Right. So.
But instead, this challenge is a 3-part challenge where the first part is obstacle, obstacle, dig. And then
the second part is
throwing
obstacle throw the basketball cookies.
Yes. And then the third one is then individual, where it's the outstretched arms, hold up the discs
with the fingertips
challenge. What I love about this challenge is that I love that Jeff was like, this disc holding challenge has only been won by women, and it's literally only been won twice. And the first time it was won by a man.
Oh, stop it!
It was that big burly tattooed guy on I think it was Millennials versus Gen X.
You know, I don't.
But he literally tweeted. He was like, "So does my win not count, Jeff?"
Oh.
And the other one was what's her face from Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, the woman that like won a bunch of challenges and got blindsided.
Again,
Lauren.
You know, I don't know.
I think it was her.
Sure,
Lauren, I know you don't know. I think it's Lauren. There's a lot of Laurens. There have been a ton of Laurens, especially in the 30s of Survivor. There were a lot of Laurens.
A lot of Laurens.
We had a Lauren last season, and she was great.
We sure did. She was wonderful.
She was.
But yes, a poor man getting your win discounted. I'm sorry, your win does count. Jeff is just old.
Literally the first time it was run. It's
right,
only been run twice.
That's so sick. But
it's like, I don't know what's worse, having your win discounted or Jeff thinking you're a woman. And however you identify is great for you.
It's great for you. Maybe you want to be identified as a woman. Who knows?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. But your win is very valid. Your win is very valid. But we also find out that the first team to get eliminated from this challenge will lose their vote. But they will go on a journey to have a chance to get their vote back.
Boo! Tomato, tomato. Boo! Tomato, tomato.
This was the stupidest thing.
Heirloom tomato. Boo!
Green tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, all the tomatoes.
Grape tomato, Roma tomato, tomato on the vine.
Look, tomato paste. Tomato sauce, all of it, just
fire roasted tomato in the can. Throw the whole can.
The whole can. Boom! It was so stupid.
I hated this.
I hated it.
Why are we preventing people from voting?
Why? It was so stupid. And okay, we'll talk about what happened. But so we go through the first round. Jake is struggling on the balance beam, but he recovers. Drew is having some issues on the balance beam, but he recovers. D, of course, her big toe, she blazes through the balance beam.
Her big toe.
Emily blazes through the balance beam. Austin blazes through the balance
Pretty
beam.
close getting to the dig.
Yeah. And we get to the dig, and the yellow team with Bruce, Kendra, and Julie are all behind. They're like far behind. Everybody else is digging. They're far behind.
Yeah.
But they finally get over to the dig. Jake, D, and Drew find these 2 rope pieces or 3 rope thingies first.
Yeah.
They're through. They're going on.
Yep.
And it comes down to the 2 teams. And like I said, the yellow team of Bruce, Julie, and Kendra was very far behind.
Julie slaying this challenge. Mother.
She ate.
And
they won. So Katura, Austin, and Emily lost their vote because they were the first one. So they're looking very dejected, and they lost their vote. So the next round happens, and we have they all do pretty well, evenly going across this other balance beam thingy.
Kendra's the only one that's a little behind, but
a little behind. I mean, Jake had a couple of wobbles and falls off, but it usually just really behind. But they were good. Everybody get to the basketball hoopy thingy, and Jake throws, and Jake is going first, and Bruce throws his right up there and gets it right up there, right, real fast. And then Julie, bam, gets hers on the first run. Pretty good, like we say, slayage from Julie in this game. Slayage. And so last one is Kendra, and she's going, and she's almost knocking it down, but she didn't. She get it up again.
Comes down to it's Kendra and Jake, I think.
And Jake, they're trying to get it, and Kendra pulls it out, and they go to the 3rd round of this whole thing, and they get to go to the sanctuary to get a rotisserie chicken. No sides.
A rotisserie chicken.
Just a big old rotisserie chicken.
No
sides.
No seasonings. Presumably, it didn't look. I don't know. I can't attest to the seasoning level of this chicken, but
it wasn't no sides.
No seasonings. No
drinks.
Sides. No drinks. No utensils. No plates. No chairs.
Nope.
Barely a plate that the chicken's on. Like
it was a chicken. That's what you got.
Just a chicken.
Just a chicken. I was like, you ain't gonna give no water, no juice, no beer, no nothing. Just chicken. All right.
Just a chicken.
Just a chicken. Cool. All right then. So they get to go to the sanctuary and just get their chicken, and good on them. But now they have to finish this last part of it and hold the disc up. And that's what Jeff announced, that only women win. But when we just said that no, it was a man who won it first. But
did you see that Kendra competed in this entire challenge with what she found out later to be either a bruised or a broken coccyx bone?
I had no idea.
She put it on Twitter. That's why she was struggling so much. And like, I'm impressed she did what she did. But that's why like her shoulder was shaking so much, because I'm pretty sure it's like one of the bones in here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's why she was like shaking so much doing the challenge. But I thought all 3 of them did a pretty dang good job.
They did too. I mean, for the 3 people who are the oldest in this game.
Is Kendra the oldest left?
Kendra,
other than Bruce,
I think she is the next to oldest besides Bruce and because I know Couture's 30, so I think Kendra's a little bit over 30.
I thought Kendra, I thought it was Couture. I don't remember.
I want to say it's Kendra is the next besides
Bruce. It's
Couture. Oh, Couture. Okay.
Couture is 34.
Okay.
Kendra is 30, and everyone else is in their 20s.
Oh, Kendra's 30?
Kendra's 30.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, Kendra's 30. Most of his cast was between 22 and 30.
I guess they say what they say. The black really don't crack, because Beautiful.
Yeah, I remember because in the first episode when Kelly, Kendra, and Katura were all bonding together, they were like, "Oh my God, we're all 30." Even though Kelly was 29, but she was like, "I'm almost 30." And everyone was like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'm 30 also." I'm 34, but I'm gonna act like it because
Yes,
I need these girls to like me.
exactly. Okay. Well then, good for them. But they all hung in there. They were doing really well. But it came down to it, and between Bruce and Julie.
Per
Julie Slayage. But
and Bruce, I'm not
and
gonna
Bruce
discount
per.
Bruce.
No, absolutely not.
The oldest people in this game by a country mile, being the
A country
final two
mile.
in a second endurance immunity challenge this season.
In a row.
That's impressive.
In a
Not
row.
not in a row, I don't think.
Bruce just won this was his second immunity in a row.
I'm thinking that the holding on to the pole was before the hold on to the rope. My bad.
Second in a row for Bruce.
Yeah.
And Bruce wins. Good for you, Bruce.
Good
on you, Bruce.
for you, Bruce.
Good on you, Bruce. Everybody's kind of like, dang, we were trying to flush the idol because that was the plan, to try to flush Bruce's idol and get him and get one of the other ones out. But they can't do that because you can't vote for Bruce because Bruce is immune. So we send the camp people back to camp with nothing. We send the sanctuary people to the sanctuary for their chicken. And we send the journey people with no votes on their journey.
And we go to the journey.
Yep.
And on their journey, they find out that the challenge that awaits them to receive their vote again is a math problem.
I was very annoyed because I would have been like, are you kidding me? Me and math don't mix like that. And apparently math don't mix with a couple of people.
Specifically, financial analysts
and civil rights
Emily
attorneys.
Flitton.
And civil rights attorneys in Couture, because Couture Tops, because they did not answer this puzzle. You had to add
3 minutes.
Yeah, and you had to add put in 3 addition signs and 1 minus sign of all these numbers. Numbers was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
4, 3, 2, 1. Right. And you had to add in 3 additional signs and 1 minus sign to make sure the total equals 100. When they opened that thing, I looked at it like, yeah, no. I would have been like, because I don't do good at math. I can do and sure, you're like, it's addition and subtraction. It should be easy, but it's trying to figure out where to put the right symbols at the right places at the right times. And I'm like, ooh, nope, that won't do. And you only have 3 minutes. You're going against the clock, and you keep hearing these things just falling into this hourglass. Like
literally,
it's like so nerve-wracking. But the only person to get it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only person that gets it is Austin.
Yes.
And we find out something about Austin. He's going for his MBA. I was like, oh, okay.
Did not know
information about Austin. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have gotten it if I'd had like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I probably would have gone through the potential options and been like, okay. Like, I think if I had looked at it and not been like delirious.
Yeah.
I think I would have realized, obviously the subtraction is like the first
98.
set of things.
It gotta be.
So I probably would have like tried to do it, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I would have gotten it in 3 minutes. I think I would have gotten it in like 5 to 10, probably.
Give me 10 minutes, I probably would have figured it out. But just the pressure and the just hourglass sound just going off, and it's too much. You're hungry, you sleep deprived, your brain is foggy. Yeah, I probably would need 10 minutes to get that done. But Austin is the only one that gets it. They go back to camp, and they're like, none of us got it. We're so sorry. We
No
don't have
one
a
has
vote.
our vote.
I'm so sorry. But wait, before did we jump? Let me jump to the sanctuary while they gobbling down this chicken. And
Yeah.
Kendra's like, "What are we doing? Because I am nervous." And they're like, "Well," Julie's like, "So what do you want to do?" She was like, "I want to do D. I think D is dangerous. I think her relationship with Austin is, interesting. I love them though together. I want them to be together after the show. They're going to make great babies, but um, I just think they're so close, and that's 2 votes. Yada yada yada." And Julie's like, I don't want to do Jake because he wrote my name down. And they're like, Bruce is like, well, you want to do Jake? We can do Jake. I'm willing to show you that I'm willing to work with you and not with my tribe. He was like, a tribe lines is gone. It's blurred. This game is fluid. And so I want to be fluid as well. So if you want to work with Jake, if you want to vote off Jake, I'm down. And so Kendra was like, what? But okay, anybody but me. So yeah, let's do Jake. And Julie's like, if they're willing to do Jake, I'm actually willing to think about it and do Jake and da 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 to keep it off of Kendra. I mean, keep it off of D, and I think Kendra will be a number for me later on. Blah blah blah. But at camp, Drew and D are eating all the rice and not saving but a little handful for Jake. Number one. And they're discussing getting rid of Kendra because D is like, Kendra is coming after me. I need to get rid of her because she said my name. So if she said my name, she might write my name down. So I'd rather get rid of her. So D and Drew was like, Kendra it is. But we'll see what happens when everybody comes back. So when everybody comes back, that's when the scramble begins. Because now Victoria and Emily have no vote. Austin is the only one that has a vote, and from that 3, and he tells them that they don't, and then he goes and makes sure D and Drew know that he actually does have his vote. He wasn't leaving my opinion.
How boring! The Reba 4 have the majority, and they can do whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
I like 3 of them though. That's the difficult part. Is like I think 3 of them are really entertaining, and it's just like I just hate a steamroll. I really do. I didn't want this. If this season becomes a steamroll after how entertaining the first 8 episodes have been, I'm gonna be really gagged by that. Honestly,
I'm gonna be annoyed by it. Honestly, I'm like, oh, great. You start off strong and then you end up predictable and weak. But whatever. So they're talking, and so Julie lets Austin and D and Drew know that she wants to get out Jake. And they're like, but we want to get out Kendra. And she's like, B and D are at an impasse right now because getting out Jake is good for my game because I've been working on Bruce and Kendra. So they would be, a number for me, but voting out Kendra will be good for D's game, but not my game because Jake will be loyal and, a number for her if it came down to us, which makes you think Julia's already thinking about at some point cutting D. But then she said, no, she wants to take D to the end. But I'm like, well, if you want to take D to the end, why are you worried about who's her number and who's not? Because y'all can just take them out whenever you want to because y'all go have a majority, right? But she knows if they go to jury, if you do take D to the end, you have that person in jury, but everybody's going to be there. So I don't know. It's weird. It was a weird thing for me.
It's like Julie recognizes simultaneously that she's in this 4 and it's a very solid 4, but she also recognizes that she is at the bottom of this 4, but doesn't seem to want to do anything about the fact that she's at the bottom of this 4.
Exactly.
It's like this would have been the absolute perfect moment for her to pull together Kendra, Bruce, and Jake.
Yep.
And be like, here's the situation. We need to flip this. Let's do it. And I just don't think, I think Julie would have done it if the original Bellows were still in somewhat of a strong like group. But the fact that all of them have kind of split in this weird way, I don't feel like Julie had enough confidence in that. Now, will Julie take that opportunity next week? Who knows?
Who knows? We shall see.
I don't see it, if I'm being honest. And I like Julie, and I think Julie's playing a solid game. I don't see Julie doing anything groundbreaking.
No,
to that level.
No, I think Julie's gonna play the safest game that she possibly can until she either is pulled to the end or she gets voted out. But she's going to play the safest possible game that she can play without trying to do any big moves and make risk and make waves. So I don't see that happening as of now. Now I could be gagged and she turn around and do something really great and big and you're like, whoa, Julie. But as of right now, I just see her playing the safest game possible. But we go to tribal. I think we're there.
We go to tribal and it's really boring.
It's so boring. Oh, it's so boring.
I love that Jeff did recognize that the Kelly blindside is going to go down as like one of the all-time blindsides. I was like, good.
About to say the most interesting part of this tribal was Kelly and Caleb's conversations happening on the sidelines. That was the most interesting thing.
I love them just sitting there, like
holding hands.
I was like, they're so adorable.
Oh, they're so adorable.
I love them.
It was just, I was like, this was so boring. And it was so like, Couture and Emily, you don't have a vote, go sit down. Like, and then Austin runs in there to make it quick. I'm like, it really wasn't that quick. Like, I would have been like, oh, he had his vote. Because he went in there, everybody was like, he went in there, huh?
I love Emily going into the voting booth being like, I'm like, who is this Emily? Like,
oh,
okay.
She making me put my hand on the card. Like, it's sitting
there.
on top of it. It's sitting on top of it. I'm like, do I pick it up or not? Do I pick it? Give me next week. I might. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. We will see. But go ahead.
The interesting thing is too, it ends up being a unanimous vote.
Yeah.
And so they didn't even get to 7 votes. So Austin can still hide the fact that he didn't have a vote. I don't know who he needs to hide it to.
It's so stupid. I was like, why do we go through these shenanigans of taking away votes if it's not going to even make it no drama happen later? Like and
unfortunately, one of the most entertaining people on this season goes home in one of the least entertaining episodes of the new era of Survivor.
So
I was just like, Kendra, no. And then I was like, CBS, release the Ponderosa. I need to see it, please. We're never getting Ponderosa back.
No, we're never.
But in this moment, Lana, I was like, So now, my stand card recipient, she still has it, but she's not in the game anymore. So I'm like, it could go to Katora for the fact that this is the 9th episode in a row where she's complaining about Bruce. I'm like, that's consistency.
I love that for her.
I love consistency. However, I'm like,
take the needle off the record. Take the needle off the record and try to adjust some things. It's we can't be so.
Katora, I need you to work with Bruce. And then cut him at fire. Just that's fine.
It's fine.
I need Katora, Bruce, Emily, and Jake to come together in some capacity
and break up this Reba 4.
But the problem is I like Dee and Austin and Julie. So I'm just like,
I I do. But I just need one of them to go. I really don't care who at this
Drew.
point. Drew more than, but you know he go walk out as soon as he feel like it's on him. He
Oh, yeah.
out, and one of them go get. Well, if they don't pick the right person, somebody will get screwed by these idols. They go get royally screwed by these.
Could you
idols.
imagine if it goes to Rocks? Because that is a scenario next week.
Ooh.
If it's 4-4.
Oof. Well, if
Rocks
Drew walks
would make
away,
this season interesting again.
if Drew walks away, he doesn't get a vote.
But he may feel comfortable and cocky enough to not.
If that would be crazy. And you can't use your advantages in the revote, so that would be insane. Insane. Ugh, I could not. I could. That would be the best case scenario. Then that would make this worth watching. Like, it would be interesting again, because this episode was so boring and it was so uninteresting.
I'm still enjoying the season.
Yes, overall,
this is still the most I've enjoyed a season in the new era, I will say.
Overall is good.
Overall that coupled with, I would say 42,
mm-hmm.
are the two that I've kind of enjoyed the most.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's overall is good, but I just need it to be better. But I just need more interesting episodes. But that's it. That's it.
All.
That's all we got. So we'll be right back here next week, same time, different panel maybe. Who knows? But we'll be back here to talk about more Survivor and if it got more interesting or not. But while you're here, since you stuck around all this time, hit that subscribe button. Let us know that you support us, because we appreciate the support and we appreciate you. You can also follow us on all of our social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod, because we have some very funny moments and we're some funny people. So check us out on all of our socials. Also, you can get your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Not just the beautiful cup mug, but all of our other official cup merch. Get that. Check it out. It's all good. And you can follow Logan and myself on Twitter if you want. Those our social handles are down there. Or you can follow me on my Instagram. That's right there. And that's it. We will see you all next time. And cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye. Ooh. I was about to start singing another song.